Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. And today we've got a game between DNS and Cham from WCS Fall, the group stages. Once again, thanks to my screener Sniper Monkey for finding me the good replays from this entire replay pack. He did a lot of work and deserves a lot of credit. Top right hand corner is the Red Protoss player. It is DNS. He's French, playing for Cascade Gaming. And in the bottom left, it is the blue Zerg player, Cham, from Mexico and Chivo SC. Okay, so two players here in a nice ZVP. Very, very excited for this one. I hope you caught the Clem compilation that I posted yesterday. It was a ton of fun to cast. Really, really like Clem a lot. Like how he is, I don't know, just increasing in skill and power and just getting better at the game every day, it seems like. And for a young player, that's really exciting. I don't care what sport you follow, ball sport or esport. Having a young player who shows a lot of promise is one of the most exciting aspects of sports in general. That is something we can all agree on, no matter what. And I'm one of those people that loves ball sports and loves esports. Like I like them both. And I know it makes me weird. Not a lot of people are into both of those, and there's a lot of hate going back and forth between those two groups. But I say let's just get along. Let's just get along. We love things. Doesn't mean the other things are diminished in any way, but alright, Gateway expand here out of DNS. We got a hatch first play from Cham, and there's the, yes, extractor pool. Nothing too crazy here at all. Very macro opening for what looks to be a very macro style game here on World of Sleepers. Every time I see that name, I have to say it like that. I don't know why. Anyway, you can check out the Falcon Paladin podcast, or Falcon Paladin Hour. It is a weekly podcast with myself and Somicron. We talk about TV shows and books and StarCraft and do bets on GSL, and sometimes some of us have to sing Disney princess songs. Keep that in mind if you're into it. And yeah, just search Falcon Paladin on your podcast app, wherever it is, and you can gain access. Also, I do share my thoughts about The Boys, which is an Amazon original based on a graphic novel from 2008 to 2012 or so. Really enjoy it, man. It is some of the best TV I've seen this year, and there's been a lot of good TV this year. October? We're in October. There is a lot of great TV coming out in October. Rick and Morty is back. Letterkenny is back as Cham does get the third base down, no problem. The probe's not able to stop. Wait, what are you doing? Go. I guess didn't have the resources quite yet to do that. My Hero Academia comes back because I'm also an anime nerd. There's a lot of stuff on the list that's coming back in October, and it's going to be exciting. So the good news is The Boys was only one season of 8 episodes, which was easy to kind of plow through in 2 days. Did I stay up until 2 a.m. yesterday watching The Boys? I certainly did. Was that a good life choice? No, it was not. But Adept trying to do stuff doesn't get anything done because the Queen exists and the Lings exist, and the Adept is just kind of not really accomplishing much at this stage. There's going to be a Phoenix here, probably into an Oracle. Your DNS. Now, I have my ongoing theory about ZVP, wherein if the Protoss can kill around 10 drones in the first 10 minutes of the match, they win. And if they can't kill 10 drones in the first 10 minutes of the match, they lose. This theory has really held strong recently. Like, it's been perfectly confirmed. I know it kind of sounds obvious, maybe a little bit, right? You're like, of course, losing 10 drones in the first 10 minutes is huge for the economy. And it is. It really sets the Zerg player back a whole bunch. And I'm trying to figure out through trial and error here if it's 7, or maybe if it's 8, or maybe if it's just 6, or I just think 10 is the line where, man, you lose 10, you're done. You're done. Whether you lose in the mid game or the late game, things just snowball out of control for you, and it's really hard to come back no matter who you are. So Oracle out. Oracle's name is Oracle, just Oracle, because I'll be dead in 10 minutes. All right, we'll see if the Oracle's dead in 10 minutes. How about that? We're 4 minutes in. That's when she popped out. And there's nothing to lift here, so all right, we'll just kill some drones and call it a day. That Queen was not quite ready to go. Oracle, okay. 3 drone kills, transferring drones. Here we go. 4. Oh, never mind, turn it into a spore. I haven't figured out the calculations of how turning something into a spore counts as resources lost and slowing down the Zerg player. But DNS not quite being super aggressive with this, which kind of feel like he could. There's only 1 Queen and a spore over here. You lift the Queen, you kill some more workers, you have a nice day, right? Keep thinking these are drones running around in the corner of my eye, but they are definitely not. 100% not. But yeah, welcome to the channel today. Hope you're having a good time. I posted a Brood War game earlier, and now we're doing some StarCraft 2. There's a lot of StarCraft on this channel. Hitting that subscribe button will gain you access to so much StarCraft. It's probably more than you can watch, which maybe is a bad thing. I think that's a bad thing. Anyway, Overlord, man. Cham, save your Overlord. No? Okay, doesn't want to get lifted up, I guess. Entirely fair. So the Overlord goes down. That counts as some damage done too. Still only 3 drones down. We're 5 minutes in. And they're going to warp in a whole bunch of High Templar here, turn them into Archons. And where'd the Oracle go? Here's the Oracle. Kill him! Kill all these Lings. Oh, there's a lot of Lings to try to kill these Archons, and they're going to get it too. That is an incredible commitment from Cham. So, like, it worked. It did. The Archon harass is dead, but now you have all these Lings, and what are they going to do? They can't take down the 3rd. Not with 2 Adepts and a Zealot here. No way. Positioning could be... Yeah, the Lings aren't even going to try. Sure, some probes are going to transfer around and die, and that's annoying, but... this might be an overmake on Lings out of Cham. This might actually count as drones lost. Because, right, these could be drones and instead they're Lings. We'll see. We'll see if that trade pulls off or works out for Cham here or not. He's going for a 4th base at 6 minutes, which I'm a huge fan of. Oh, it could have got those Lings here too. Could have got them Lings. Didn't do it. Didn't rightly do it. Oh, here we go. They came back and they died. Smart. Smartly done. Oh, the Lings trying to get that surround, but the shield battery is so good. It is so good versus these Lings. And then the Oracle comes in here too. And the Adept stays alive with a total of 6 kills because she is awesome. Meanwhile, the Archons level 2, round 2 are here, but Roaches and Queens are pretty fantastic at staying alive against 2 Archons. Nothing dies because it transfuses. Really well played there by Cham. Enjoying that very much. And yeah, well rebuffed. So at this point, what are we at? 59 to 66 workers. Cham has the lead on drones. Really hasn't taken too much economic damage here. Making those Lings didn't seem to send him back all that too badly. We're still 7 minutes in though. There's still a chance there could be some more drone harassment. But Cham's at 75 workers. Maybe not. Maybe at this stage it's too late. Another Overlord snipe. Nice then. And that does actually... Ooh, almost supply block Cham. DNS is supply blocked. Come on, man. We're 7 minutes in. I know you're busy focusing on stuff in the front, but you cannot get supply blocked at the 7.5 minute mark and hope to beat Cham. I don't think... Man, that doesn't bode well. All right, so... probability of winning here as Cham's going for a 5th base at 7.5 minutes. I gotta say, this looks like it's really favoring Cham right now. Really killing it in worker supply, killing it in army supply too. Base count is heavily favoring the Zerg. He's got army to defend against this Roach attack, and sure, a couple drones will die, but overall, that's nothing too concerning. You can replace those fairly easily. Starting to build up actually something of a bank here. 157 supply, 20 Lings in production. Does he want to try to kill this 3rd? I kind of feel like this is a kill the 3rd attack, which the Phoenix sees, by the way. Man, my dad says that. I don't know. I'm turning into my dad. Wow. All right, so creep spread. Bit of a creep highway set up here for the Zerg. He's pushing in. That's got to be an attack on the 3rd base. There are Zealots here. Charge is done. Okay, now it's done, but you know what I mean. Archons taking out a couple of Roaches individually in the middle of the map here. Kind of like that from DNS. I really do enjoy any efforts that any player can make to pick up reinforcing units as they come across the map. Banelink speed is done. This is pretty scary stuff, man. Cybercore's getting focused down a little bit. Charge lots show up. The Banelings need to be in the front. Go. Banelings, you could actually win this if your Banelings hit these Zealots. And they're doing it. No, the Zealots. Okay, well, that's all right. I suppose, yeah, the Immortals are not having a great time versus all these Ravagers. Neither are the Archons. Corrosive Bowels are coming down. Immortal juggling is happening right now from DNS. He's trying to keep his dudes alive, which is pretty good. Roaches on the inside going after gateways, which, okay, that's totally fine, I suppose. And then reinforcing Zealots coming on in. There are no more Banelings left, so Cham is forced to flee in the face of these charge lots, which will chew up your Roaches and your Ravagers if you let them. So DNS takes some damage there, but didn't lose any probes. Didn't lose any buildings. So that attack was fairly ineffective out of Cham, I gotta say. He killed a lot of army units, which is nice. Cham's lost 7,000 resources of units. DNS 5,000. Well, not of units, just total resources here. Again, the Banelings getting to the front lines, and the Zealots are getting wiped out. This Immortal, man. 14 kill Immortal. I'm telling you guys, Immortal good unit against this kind of composition here. The Ravager count is not high enough for this to work for Cham. These Roaches are really bad versus the Immortals and even the Archons because of their lower range than the Ravagers. You kind of have to get into range of the Archons to hit them, and They hit you back really hard with that bonus damage versus biological. That's an observer hanging out. Thought that was a warp prism for a minute. And DNS takes a 4th base. And there's a zealot up here at the 4th of Cham now, who is not going to kill a queen because a roach saved the day. Cham on the offensive once again, trying to get into this natural base, trying to take down this warp gate. Might as well finish it off. There we go. Slowing down the production abilities of the Protoss just a little bit. Not too bad. Going for a Spire. Interestingly enough, Spire is an interesting choice, isn't it? I guess maybe for Corruptors. I don't think you want to go Mutalisks here. You know Phoenix exists. You know there's a Stargate. This is a really heavy Archon Zealot composition right here. Kind of feel like a Roach, like a Ravager Baneling composition. Should be able to handle that. These Lings are going to get this Nexus, especially with a Roach support. Yeah, we don't care about you Zealots. We're getting the Nexus. Bam! Waited till it finished. So mean. And then we're going to escape because we're really fast. Meanwhile, Zealot warping on the other side of the map, though. 3 drones going down. The Spire getting focused. It just popped. There's already 6 Corruptors on the way. Those are going to have to be what you got for a while there, Cham, because you just lost your Spire to the Zealot warping. One of the most powerful weapons in all of the Protoss arsenal there is the Zealot warping. Look at how much you have to commit to kill these guys. It's insane. They have +1 attack. Almost have +2. Warp Prism trying to do more stuff along those lines. Corruptors really want to find the Warp Prism and kill it. This Corruptor is in a great intercept path. And ka-chunk. There we go. Where are the rest of the Corruptors? Here they are. Oh, this Warp Prism is dead. Goodbye, Warp Prism. I don't think you can recall fast enough to stay alive here. And a full Warp Prism picked out. That sucks. That's really bad. I guess they unloaded a few of the Zealots down here, but they're not killing drones. They're not really doing their jobs. Or, you know, sniping tech structures is another thing they can do. So Cham's got his 5th base up and running. DNS sitting on 4, almost on 4. I kind of wish that Cham would expand again. He's sitting at 2,000 minerals. Let's do it, man. Expand. Oh, he is. Okay. Excellent. Again, my time traveling advice is being followed, which I'm a huge fan of. I don't like the positioning of this observer. Well, I love it for DNS. I don't like it for Cham. Hey, look, Storm's done. All right, Storm's done. I don't know about pushing up this ramp, Cham. He decides to pull on back, as he should do. Double expanding DNS. I guess the 4th is done, so that's not a double expand. That's a regular expand for a 5th. But Lings are going to find it. And once again, the army's just not really in position to save this from dying at all. That's a cancel. That is a forced cancel. Lings are like, I guess we'll come up the ramp and try to kill some things if you want us to. Well, once again, the Archons are pretty good against a Roach Baneling Ling composition. They don't take bonus damage from anything there, and they do bonus damage to everything there. Meanwhile, Corruptors thinking about doing a caustic spray play on this Nexus. That'd be cool, but the cannon placement is a little bit too good. Nice job with the static defense there from DNS, and Cham's 6th base is going to pop here any minute. So we are moving into the Tier 3 stuff, as indeed we have carriers in production. I guess we already have Archons and High Templar, which are Tier 3. Banelings getting stormed into their eggs. Oh, this is one of the things, man. Morphing in Banelings at the front like this is so dangerous. Oh, this is big. None of these Banelings are going to finish. Okay, some of the Banelings are going to finish. 4 of them. 4 of them are going to finish. Meanwhile, Zealots up at the 4th base, just wiping out additional drones. Another Warp Prism down. The cancel's warped, or the warp is canceled there too. The canceled is warped as well, in case you're wondering. Engagement in the middle. The Corruptors are trying to fight against these Phoenix. And going to die to the Archons largely, and they do except for the single one there. So 8 drones dead in the first 13 minutes. I don't think this counts. I think Cham is pretty economically fine. He hasn't lost a base yet. He's expanding in the top left here for a 7th. Really, I mean, he's got so many bases, he can't even saturate them all right now, which is kind of a good place to be. DNS trying to get his 5th. Nexus up here again. Again, horribly underprotected right now. These guys are going to get a cancel on it. Like, there aren't that many of them, but DNS's army is way down here. And that's it. So goodbye, Nexus. Got our Roach army coming into the 4th, while this army is coming into the natural base, and the army of DNS is kind of split up, undecided about what it wants to do. It's going to handle the northern attack. The southern attack is really effective right now, though. Do the Roaches have +1 attack? They've got +1 missile attack. They're just going after probes, and then forcing a recall. Most of everybody retreating, splitting into 2 separate groups. Army coming up this way to try to get us around on this Archon Immortal army and kill it. Corrosive Biles dodge somehow, even though surrounded by Lings, and we've got Broodlords who have joined the party here too. Loving this. The 14-minute Broodlords out of Cham. Does not have anything to do with carriers, though. I'm going to point that out. Oh, the roaches come back into the fourth base. My goodness. 11 probes down in the next couple of minutes, and these roaches are going to die. This Archon carrier immortal thing is designed specifically to kill roaches. Another cancel on this base. DNS is not looking good for you, my friend. Mon frère, mon ami. I know such little sprinklings of French, you guys. And yeah, I mean, if you're not going to stop me, let's go ahead and just knock down your warp gate again. Bye, warp gate. And then Cham doesn't want to push the issue. Once the army shows up, we just pull back. That's all we're looking at here. That's all we're looking at is just getting damage done, making sure DNS doesn't get a 5th base up, making sure you're maxed out, getting upgrades, and calling it good. So I like what Cham is doing. I like what DNS is doing here, too. Oh, the Archons are going to be so good versus these Corruptors, but there's so many Corruptors! The Mothership gets picked out of the sky. Storm is happening. The carriers are getting absolutely wrecked by these Corruptors. All of them are gone. The Broodlords are not enough to handle this many Archons, though. And DNS actually survives despite losing a huge amount of his army right there. Cham lost stuff, too. Let's make no mistake about that. Cham lost a bunch of his Broodlords, as we can see. He only has 2 remaining. And the Archons, with that, do they have the +3 attack? They have the +3 attack. Thanks. Thanks, interface here. Oh, Broodlords. Goodbye. Yum. So slow. So slow, our Broodlords. I mean, they got range and all that. Oh, we're Caustic Spring on everything. All right, so that Stargate's down. The Templar Archives is on its way down here, too. No, just kidding. It survives because 4 Stalkers came in and saved the day. If these Corruptors weren't already bruised, I think they stick around and snipe those tech structures. Call it a good day. But yeah, it's still able to make 2 carriers at a time. The Archons are coming on in here. Archon Immortal versus a Roach. Again, I don't think the Roaches are good here. This counterattack, then... Oh, Hatchery does go down. Nicely done by DNS. And he's taking a 5th base in the bottom right-hand corner all while this is happening. Storm on all of the things. Corruptors flying in, making sure the carrier ball is never very big. No, 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 no. Turn around. Get it. Get the thing. Okay. Man, they are so injured. They're all so injured, but they hit so hard. The carriers, I think we should give up on carriers, DNS. He's going to say he's still making 2. Where is the army that can counter this ground army, though? Did he make overmake? I think he overmade Corruptors is what happened here. And as a result, these Immortals are doing some 26 kills. 39 kill Immortal. Okay, they're dying, though. Drones are helping to make sure that happens. 11 drones killed during this. Archon, with 33 kills, is dead as well. Again, a lot of this is killing Broodlings, I understand that, but holy crap. All right, so 13 drones go down, but Cham does manage to hold off the counterattack, which is pretty effective. Did allow him to successfully expand in the bottom right-hand corner here, too. Loving to see that. Army supply is 74-55 in favor of the Zerg player, but a lot of this is Roach Ravager, which is not very good against, for example, carriers, which are still being made. Some Void Rays are in the mix from DNS. Okay. All right. All right, I'm on board with that. I can live with that outcome. I mean, Void Rays are fantastic against Roaches, that's for sure, especially in a defensive position. But, yeah, I mean, Cham is 57 workers. I wonder if he's intentionally not replacing those drones so he has a bigger army. No, he's just mineral starved. Okay. So, yeah, under 100 minerals. The 4th base is in a huge amount of trouble here. Do you want to sacrifice the Roaches and Ravagers to take down the Nexus? No, but we do want to kill a bunch of these probes if we can. Slow down the economy as much as we can. Corrosive Bile landing, Storm on top of everything here, too. Some really fun engagements here today. These guys backed into an absolute just suicide corner there. And, oh, you saw this base, Cham! Cham, you could have killed this. I mean, at least the cannons. All right, it's cool. Everything's totally fine. Creep spread looking okay for Cham. Not like super amazing, but not too shabby. Replacing his 5th base down here in the middle, which died a while ago. More Corruptors in production. I don't know, man. Corruptors feel like a bit of a mistake here. The Void Rays chew through Corruptors with Prismatic Alignment. Just nom, 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 nom. They're not even there. Not even there. This Zealot trying to get over here and do some things. But these Lings are +2 attack, and they hit pretty hard, and they have Adrenal Glands. They have Adrenal Glands! Yay! Another Roach Ravager attack! I'm just feeling Groundhog Day here. This Warp Gate has been under assault at least 3 or 4 times today. It's been killed at least once, too. The army shows up, and this is where you attack down here. Cham was doing a pretty good job separating up DNS's army. Attacking different places at once here, but not working so well for him at the moment. Oh, it's another War Prism down, isn't it? It's probably another War Prism down, if I had to guess what we're looking at here. You don't want to stick around with the... I mean, I know it's just one Corruptor, but one Corruptor can really ruin your day. Now there's two Corruptors. And War Prism dead. Alright. Not even really trying to run at this point. But the attack up the front, the Void Rays, the Archons, the Carriers, the High Templar. Broodlord's not necessarily countered by this composition. Additional Carriers and Void Rays in production. Neither player really able to max out, and I think that has to do with the fact that Cham has not been replacing his drones, and really neither has DNS. DNS has lost 24 probes and is sitting on 50. And it's 63 workers here for Cham, and he's lost 30. So yeah, pretty good engagement position from these Broodlords up here, though. Yeah, that is not where you want to live at all. Zealots do find the base down south, causing some problems down there for the drones that are just trying to work quietly and provide a living for their families. And by their families, all of the swarm is how that works. Zealots, man. Good unit. Just sending them on run-bys all the time is fantastic. This is why a lot of Zerg players will toss up a couple spines at their expansions, especially the ones on the further outreaches. Just because they can handle a small number of Zealots pretty effectively. 3 or 4 spines can do it, but in this position... Yeah, Zealots are done. Zealots are done. No attack upgrades for the Roaches thus far, but they're enough to handle the Zealots. They're one of the units that pretty much counter them. Anyway, even though Charge kind of flips that balance a little bit, like a mass Charge lot all in, Roaches will die unless they're positioned properly. So it's not exactly a hard counter, I wouldn't say, because that's happening. So 175 to 142 supply in favor of Cham here. He's really kind of starting to get it going. Man, DNS, though, expanding up to the north again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 7 bases for DNS. Counting. Counting is hard, they said. Another War Prism. How many War Prisms have died today? Finding it. Finding it. Why can't I find it? 3. 3 have already gone down. There's another one moving into danger to the Zerg side of the map, where there is creep and there are eyes everywhere. Trying to throw up a spore down here. It's good, but it's too late. It's a good piece of prevention here for sure. Oh, more probes getting killed. More probes getting killed. Just wrong place, wrong time on these dudes, forcing the army back just for a handful of Roaches and Ravagers. And sure, you're going to kill them, but the Zealot drops causing some problems in Zergville here too. Main base and this 6th base down south. The Corruptor Ball is so big. It is so big right now. And another War Prism is going to die just because there's nothing else it can do. Ling upgrades not continuing to happen here. Still just sitting on +2, never going for the +3. Zealots have effectively shut down this entire base. I guess the drones are coming back in, but a couple of them are going to die because they're a little premature. And then DNS says, well, if your army's down that way, let's head up to the north and wipe out this hatchery. Nice drone evacuation. Great timing there from Cham, by the by. Really good. 12 drones killed. Are these Zealots still alive? Oh my gosh, these Zealots are still alive. Okay, well, that base is down because DNS found it, shut it down. It's got a number of carriers. The carriers are effectively defunct, though, because of the incredible Corruptor count on the field right now, which is 17. 17 Corruptors sitting on +1 flyer attack. Scary stuff. Another player really super interested in all of the upgrades today. It is just one of the hallmarks of sometimes a pro player versus an elite best in the world player are upgrades, man. At this stage of the game, you'd have air upgrades galore. If this was, say, for example, stats. Okay, decent fungals coming on in. The Broodlings crushing the ground army. The Void Rays trying to deal with the Corruptors, but there aren't enough of them. The Storm trying to kill them too, but nice job pulling back. Ground army just getting absolutely wiped out. The Broodlords are dying here too, waiting on the Storms very intelligently here. Man, I remember, what did I say about prismatic alignment and Corruptors? Again, sometimes it just doesn't matter, and sometimes the Corruptor Ball is just so big that your carriers are effectively forfeit. DNS's army is getting wiped out here. There's not a whole lot left over here from Cham, actually. All right, never mind. Maybe if you have enough Void Rays and Storms You can actually handle it, and DNS is pushing in. Cham's on 44 workers, you guys. He doesn't have the bank or the income to replace the corruptors fast enough. Holy crap. Is his lack of economy going to lose him this game at 25 minutes? For somebody on so many bases, he just never really replaced his drones, and suddenly it's 127 to 74 overall supply. We got Lings, that's not super good. Neural Parasite is completed. These infestors might be able to neural this army down, but there's the recall. And DNS happily sitting on 57 workers. It's 19 drones for Cham. 19. He needs to be replacing these workers. He needs to put some pressure on DNS, maybe kill a base, try to reestablish his economy, but that is such a tall order right now. Such a tall order right now. All right, so Adrenal Gland Lings are showing up right now, dealing with these cannons. Pretty darn effectively. Oh, that pylon would have been an amazing target to snipe down, but the Zealot Warping is huge from DNS. He doesn't have a huge bank either, but he's able to warp in enough Zealots to slow things down and keep this base alive while the rest of the army shows up here. This is a good game. I mean, army supply for DNS is definitely in favor, 92 to 40. The corruptor count could probably handle this. Ooh, they're darting in. They're darting in, but is it just bait for the storm is the question. Also, is there a cloak involved? Ah, the cloak is involved, and that's it. Good game. DNS is your winner. Cham taps out. 26 minutes and 26 seconds. A 2626 scenario. Always a lot of fun. But yar, good stuff. Great stuff there from DNS, man. I really thought he was dead. I just thought Cham's army composition was better. I thought his corruptor count was high enough to handle it, but the storms and the void rays were good. He didn't really deal with the void rays fast enough. I think he kills the void rays first, then goes after the carriers. I think he has a better time with the corruptors. DNS did a great job protecting his High Templar too. The High Templar were off kind of in the back, not getting hit by the broodlings, and then when they were needed, they darted forward, stormed a bunch on the corruptors, whittled them down, and then they were dead. And then just the constant Zealot harass, wiping out the space in the top left, DNS was able to slow down the Zerg economy and the Zerg macro to the point where Cham was down to 19 workers. Really hard to establish from that point. And yeah, Cham did a great job killing Nexuses in this game, forcing cancels too. He killed 3 Nexuses and 4 warp gates today. Lost 3 hatcheries of his own. Lost 82 drones and only killed 29 probes. And again, just never really replaced the drones was the problem. He needed that to be a priority. And it wasn't. So that's okay. Stuff you need to work on, man. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for me then today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch. All at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. And you take care of yourself.